You can sense them the moment they walk in. There's a distinct quality to spiritually awakened people that Carl Jung spent decades trying to define. It's not about their words or their actions. It's an indefinable quality, a pure presence that immediately shifts the atmosphere around them. Jung called this the aura of the individuated person, a quiet psychological radiance that affects everyone nearby, yet no one can quite put their finger on why. Today, I'm revealing the 5 core qualities that Jung identified as the source of this rare aura. These qualities are so subtle, yet so powerful, that once you truly grasp them, you will instantly recognize an integrated soul. You will understand why their mere presence transforms every space they enter. More importantly, you will learn how these qualities naturally develop and why they are absolutely impossible to fake. Here's Jung's central discovery. Spiritually awakened people don't strive to have presence. They simply stop preventing it. Through the process of individuation, they systematically remove the psychological barriers that block their genuine, authentic radiance. Jung referred to this state as the transparency of the integrated psyche. When internal conflicts fully resolve, what remains is an unobstructed presence that others cannot help but feel. The first quality is the most immediately noticeable, the unified field. When true internal harmony is achieved, it creates external peace. Jung discovered that awakened individuals emit what he termed psychological coherence. Their thoughts, their feelings, and their actions align so completely that they generate a powerful, unified energy field around them. You feel this as an almost physical sensation of deep peace in their presence. This isn't a conscious effort to be peaceful. It is the natural consequence of resolving the deep-seated internal conflicts that usually create disturbance. What exactly creates this unified field? Most people are psychologically fragmented. Their conscious mind desperately wants one thing, while their unconscious pulls toward another. They think a certain way, but feel entirely different. They might say yes, while their body language screams no. This internal fragmentation creates what Jung called psychological static, an energetic disturbance that others unconsciously detect as tension, inauthenticity, or unease. Jung wrote, "The individuated person has achieved what I call psychological unity. The conscious and the unconscious, the masculine and feminine principles, the thinking and feeling sides are no longer at war. They are in harmony. This harmony is not merely internal. It radiates outward, creating a field of coherence that others experience as profound stillness." The unified field manifests in specific, documented ways. Jung noted, "When you are near an awakened person, your own nervous system begins to calm without any conscious effort on your part. Your breathing naturally deepens and slows. Your constant mental chatter suddenly decreases. Anxieties that felt urgent moments before suddenly seem less important. It's as if their internal harmony creates a template of order that your own psyche instinctively follows. This is not simple charisma or an engaging personality. It is what Jung called presence without performance. The awakened person isn't doing anything to create this effect. They are simply being, and their being is so internally aligned that it naturally harmonizes the space around them. They don't need to speak wisdom. Their presence is wisdom. They don't need to teach peace. They embody it. Jung observed that this unified field operates through a silent, unconscious to unconscious communication. Below the level of conscious awareness, your psyche recognizes their complete psychological integration and responds with a palpable sense of relief. It's like finally meeting someone who speaks your native tongue after being surrounded by foreign voices. There is immediate recognition and relaxation. What makes this quality so rare? It can never be manufactured. You cannot pretend to have internal unity. The unconscious mind always reveals fragmentation. You can act peaceful while harboring inner turmoil, but others will inevitably sense the discrepancy. The unified field only emerges from genuine integration, from actually doing the deep psychological work of unifying the opposites within yourself. Jung pointed out that people often cannot explain why they feel so peaceful around these individuals. They might credit the person's words or demeanor, but Jung showed that the core reason is the absence of psychological conflict that creates the effect. The awakened person isn't adding peace to the environment. They are simply not contributing to the usual unconscious psychological warfare that fills most spaces. This unified field also influences how outer reality responds. Jung documented an increase in synchronicities around individuated people, as if their internal coherence creates a corresponding external coherence. Animals approach them with unusual trust. Children naturally gravitate toward them. Even challenging situations often seem to resolve more smoothly in their presence. It is not magic. It is what Jung called the organizing principle of psychological wholeness, extending beyond the individual into their environment. But this unified field is only the foundation. The second quality is the transparent shadow, when darkness becomes light. Jung's second discovery about the awakened aura is deeply paradoxical. These individuals radiate light not by eliminating their darkness, but by making it fully conscious. He called this shadow transparency. The awakened person has integrated their shadow so completely that it becomes a source of authenticity rather than something to frantically hide. This is profoundly powerful. Most people spend enormous energy hiding their shadows, their anger, their selfishness, their weakness, their taboo desires. This hiding creates what Jung called psychological armor that others experience as distance, falsehood, or even an unconscious threat. Awakened individuals, however, have nothing left to hide because they have already faced and integrated everything. Their transparency instantly makes others feel safe to be themselves. Jung wrote, "The individuated person no longer projects their shadow because they have withdrawn all projections. They own their darkness as consciously as they own their light." This complete self-ownership creates a quality of radical authenticity that others experience as permission to be wholly themselves. The transparent shadow manifests in remarkable ways. Jung observed, awakened people can acknowledge their flaws without shame or defense. They can openly discuss their struggles without seeking sympathy. They can admit mistakes without any loss of dignity. This radical self-acceptance creates an atmosphere where others feel accepted too. You don't need to perform or pretend because they are not performing or pretending. What's extraordinary is how this shadow transparency affects others' shadows. In the presence of someone who has genuinely integrated their darkness, your own shadows instantly feel less threatening. The anger you've been suppressing seems more manageable. The weakness you've been hiding feels more acceptable. The desires you've been ashamed of appear more fundamentally human. It's as if their integration gives your shadow permission to simply exist. Jung discovered that this quality creates what he called psychological safety. When someone has clearly faced their own deepest darkness, others instinctively know this person will not judge their darkness. The awakened individual has been to the depths and has returned, so others feel safe revealing their own depths. This leads to unusually honest, authentic interactions that feel profoundly refreshing compared to normal social performance. The transparent shadow also means awakened people can hold space for others' difficult emotions without being disturbed. They have felt genuine rage, so your anger does not frighten them. They have experienced despair, so your sadness does not overwhelm them. They have known terror, so your anxiety does not trigger their own. Their emotional range is so complete that nothing human is foreign to them. Jung noted that this quality often makes awakened people seem paradoxically both lighter and deeper than others. Lighter because they are not carrying the hidden psychological weight of suppressed shadow material. Deeper because they have integrated dimensions of experience most people avoid. They can laugh genuinely because they have also cried completely. They can celebrate because they have also mourned. Every emotion is fully available because every emotion has been fully acknowledged. This transparency even extends to what Jung called the collective shadow, the darkness of humanity itself. Awakened individuals have faced not just their personal shadow, but the universal human capacity for both creation and destruction. This makes them remarkably non-judgmental. They understand how ordinary people become capable of extraordinary darkness and extraordinary light, because they have found both capacities within themselves. Yet, even this shadow transparency is enhanced by the third quality, the timeless presence, living in the eternal now. Jung discovered that awakened individuals exist in a different relationship with time. They are fully and completely present in the moment, while simultaneously connected to something eternal. This creates what Jung termed timeless presence, a quality of being that makes every interaction feel both immediate and infinite. What creates this temporal shift? Most people are psychologically scattered across time, regretting the past, worrying about the future. They are rarely fully present. This temporal fragmentation creates a constant undercurrent of anxiety and rush that others feel as pressure or distraction. But awakened individuals have integrated their relationship with time. They are neither running from the past nor frantically chasing the future. They inhabit what Jung called the eternal now. Jung wrote, "The individuated person lives in what I call psychological time rather than chronological time. They experience each moment as complete in itself, yet also as part of an eternal pattern. This creates a presence that is both absolutely here and somehow beyond time. The timeless presence manifests clearly." Jung documented, "When you are with an awakened person, time seems to slow down or become irrelevant. Conversations feel unhurried, even if only minutes pass. Moments expand to contain unexpected depth. You stop checking your clock. You stop feeling rushed. You stop worrying about what's next. Their relationship with time creates a temporal sanctuary where you are finally allowed to just be present." This quality emerges from what Jung called the integration of the eternal self. Through individuation, the person has contacted the aspect of the psyche that exists outside time, the self that was present before birth and continues after death. This contact with the eternal does not remove them from time, but it gives them a radically different perspective on it. They live in time while remaining fully aware of the timeless. Jung observed that this creates an unusual combination of patience and urgency. Awakened individuals have infinite patience because they are connected to the eternal. Nothing can ultimately rush them. Yet they also possess an intense presence because they know each moment is unique and will never repeat. They are simultaneously relaxed about cosmic time and intensely engaged with present time. The timeless presence affects how the awakened person ages. Jung noted they often seem both older and younger than their chronological age. Older because they carry a wisdom that feels ancient. Younger because they maintain a freshness of perception that most people lose. They have integrated the poor eternus, the eternal youth, and the wise elder, creating an ageless quality that transcends physical appearance. This temporal quality also influences how others experience their own relationship with time around awakened people. Your usual time anxiety diminishes. The constant mental timekeeping quiets. Past regrets and future worries become less compelling than present awareness. It is as if their timeless presence reminds your psyche that beneath the rush of chronological time lies an eternal dimension always accessible. Jung discovered that this quality makes awakened individuals natural holders of sacred space. Rituals, ceremonies, or healing work conducted in their presence take on a timeless quality. They create what Jung called a temenos, a sacred container, where ordinary time is suspended and deep transformation can occur. Not through any special technique, but simply through their integrated relationship with time itself. If you are recognizing these three qualities, the unified field, the transparent shadow, the timeless presence, you are beginning to understand why awakened people feel so different. They are not better or special, but they operate from a fundamentally different psychological organization. Before we explore the final two qualities that complete this rare aura, take a moment to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Share in the comments which quality you've noticed most in those you consider awakened. Your observations might help others recognize these qualities too. Now, these last two qualities reveal why Jung believed awakened people serve an evolutionary function. The fourth quality is conscious love, beyond attachment and detachment. Jung discovered that awakened individuals embody what he called conscious love, a quality of connection that transcends both needy attachment and cold detachment. They love without possessing, they care without controlling, they connect without merging. This creates an aura of unconditional acceptance that transforms everyone they encounter. What makes conscious love so distinctive? Most people oscillate between attachment and detachment. They either merge with others, losing themselves entirely in the relationship, or they wall themselves off, protecting against all vulnerability. Both states create what Jung called relational disturbance, an energy others experience as either invasive neediness or rejecting coldness. Jung wrote, "The individuated person has achieved what I call conscious relationship. They can be fully present with another without losing themselves or needing to possess the other. This creates a quality of love that is simultaneously personal and transpersonal, intimate yet completely free. Conscious love manifests in remarkable ways." Jung observed, "Awakened individuals can maintain deep intimacy without codependence. They can care profoundly without trying to fix or save the other person. They can love someone exactly as they are, while simultaneously seeing their ultimate potential for growth. This creates relationships of extraordinary depth and freedom at the same time." What is powerful about conscious love is how it affects others' capacity for love. In the presence of someone who loves consciously, your own heart naturally softens. The defenses you maintain against intimacy relax. The relational games you play seem unnecessary. You feel simultaneously held and free, seen and accepted, challenged and supported. Jung discovered that conscious love operates through what he called differentiated feeling. The awakened person doesn't love everyone the same way. They love each person uniquely, according to their specific being. They see past the surface personality to the self in others, recognizing the divine core while fully acknowledging human limitations. This quality creates what Jung called therapeutic presence. Simply being around someone who loves consciously has a healing effect. Not because they are trying to heal, but because conscious love naturally dissolves the psychological wounds created by unconscious relationship. Their presence reminds your psyche what real, unburdened love feels like. Conscious love also means the awakened person can hold multiple levels of relationship simultaneously. They can be teacher and friend, guide and equal, supporter and challenger. They don't need to choose one rigid role, but can flow between them as needed. This flexibility creates relationships of unusual richness and dimensionality. Jung noted that conscious love extends far beyond human relationships to include all existence. Awakened individuals often demonstrate what he called cosmic love, a sense of connection with all life that is not sentimental, but grounded in a genuine, felt recognition of unity. They love the world not as an idea, but as the lived experience of profound interconnection. Crucially, this love is not soft or permissive. Jung observed that conscious love includes what he called the sword of discrimination, the ability to see clearly, to speak the truth, and to set necessary boundaries. Awakened people can say no with as much love as they say yes. They can confront as compassionately as they comfort. Their love includes the full spectrum of human interaction. Yet there is one final quality that completes the aura of awakened beings: the creative emptiness, the space where newness emerges. Jung's final observation is perhaps the most subtle. Awakened people carry what he called creative emptiness, a deep psychological spaciousness that allows genuinely new things to emerge. They are not full of themselves, but they are full of potential. This emptiness is not absence. It is the presence of infinite possibility. What did Jung discover? Most people are psychologically crowded, full of fixed opinions, rigid beliefs, quick judgments, and old stories. This fullness creates what Jung called psychological density that others experience as heaviness or limitation. But awakened individuals have fundamentally emptied themselves of fixed positions. They hold views lightly, allowing space for new understanding to emerge. Jung wrote, "The individuated person has achieved what I call the fertile void, an inner spaciousness where creative emergence can occur. They are not empty of content, but they are empty of attachment to content. This creates a quality of radical openness that actively invites new possibilities. Creative emptiness manifests in transformative ways." Jung documented, "Conversations with awakened people often take unexpected turns. New insights emerge that neither party anticipated. Solutions to long-standing problems appear that were not previously visible. It's as if their psychological spaciousness creates room for creativity to simply flourish." This emptiness operates as what Jung called the womb of possibility. Just as physical birth requires empty space, psychological birth requires empty space in the psyche. Awakened individuals maintain this space not through effort, but through having released all attachment to psychological positions. They have opinions, but they are not identified with them. They have knowledge, but they are not attached to it. Jung observed that this quality makes awakened people natural catalysts for others' growth. Their emptiness creates the necessary space for others to discover themselves. Instead of filling conversations with their own content, they create openings where others' authentic expression can emerge. They ask questions that create space rather than provide answers that fill space. The creative emptiness also means awakened individuals can hold paradox without demanding resolution. They don't need to choose sides or resolve contradictions immediately. They can hold multiple perspectives simultaneously without confusion. This creates what Jung called psychological roominess, a space where apparent opposites can coexist and eventually synthesize into new understanding. This quality profoundly affects how reality itself responds to the awakened person. Jung noted that new possibilities seem to emerge around them spontaneously. Stuck situations become fluid. Fixed patterns suddenly shift. It's as if their creative emptiness invites life to express new forms through and around them. What's truly remarkable is how this emptiness coexists with fullness. Jung called it empty fullness or full emptiness. The awakened person is completely present, yet not full of themselves. They are substantially there, yet somehow transparent. They have a strong presence, yet they create space for others' presence. This paradox is the key to their transformative effect. Here is Jung's complete picture of the awakened person's rare aura. 1. Unified field, creating immediate peace. 2. Transparent shadow, enabling radical authenticity. 3rd, timeless presence, transcending temporal anxiety. 4th, conscious love, operating beyond attachment. 5. Creative emptiness, inviting infinite possibility. Together, these qualities create what Jung called the presence of wholeness, an unmistakable atmosphere that transforms every space they enter. Jung wrote, "The individuated person doesn't have presence, they are presence." Their complete psychological integration creates a field effect that influences everyone nearby, not through intention, but through the simple act of being. These qualities cannot be developed separately or practiced as mere techniques. They emerge naturally and spontaneously from the demanding process of individuation, the psychological journey toward wholeness. As you integrate your shadow, unify your opposites, contact the self, and complete the journey Jung mapped, these qualities will manifest in your life. What Jung understood is that these qualities serve an evolutionary function. Each awakened individual becomes what he called a seed of new consciousness in the collective humanity. Their presence doesn't just affect individuals, it contributes to the evolution of human consciousness itself. They demonstrate what is truly possible when full psychological integration is achieved. Jung believed we are now in a time when more people are achieving this integration, creating what he called islands of consciousness in the vast ocean of the collective unconscious. These islands will eventually connect, creating new continents of awareness. Each awakened person's aura contributes to this larger, global transformation. The rarity of this aura is not because awakening is reserved for special people. It is rare because few complete the difficult journey of individuation. Most stop at the point of comfort rather than pushing through to wholeness. But those who complete the journey demonstrate that this aura is humanity's birthright, the natural presence of a psychologically integrated human being. If you recognize these qualities in others or sense them powerfully emerging in yourself, you are witnessing what Jung called the future of humanity, not as a concept, but as a lived, palpable presence. The rare aura of awakened people is not supernatural. It is simply naturally super, the organic, unmistakable result of profound psychological wholeness. Remember Jung's words, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." That becoming creates an aura that needs no announcement. Presence itself declares the achievement. Subscribe and hit the notification bell to explore more of Jung's revolutionary insights. To dive even deeper into Jung's psychology and what it means for your spiritual awakening, click the recommended video on your screen now.